Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to Kindergarten Story Time. I'm so happy you decided to come back and join me for another story. So this week, Mrs. Gutheil and I are very excited to read you some stories about sloths. And I don't know if you know what's so special about sloths. I know a lot of us know what they are and we think that they're cute, and they are cute, but there's something that's really important about them. They are the slowest mammals in the world. They move very, very slowly. So if you have a chance to watch Mrs. Gutheil's video, she has a nonfiction story on sloths that will give you some true information and facts. And my story is a fiction story. It's not true, but the idea about the sloth is true inside the story. So before we read the story, I just wanted to tell you that Mrs. Gutheil and I each have activities at the end of our videos. And we emailed your parents some sheets that they could print out if you were interested in doing the activities with us after our stories. Now for mine, I'm going to tell you what you need. Your parents got a sheet that had two of these sloths on them. You can cut out both or just one. You only need one for this story, but you can have both in case you make a mistake or you just want to have one to use somewhere else. You're going to need a white piece of construction paper or just a white piece of paper, whatever you have. And then you can use different art materials. Now in school we would have used watercolors with paintbrushes, but a lot of us don't have that at home. So using markers, crayons, colored pencils are all fine. So whatever you want to use to create your picture at the end will be perfect. I'm going to use markers today because I think that's what most of us will be using. Now the story I'm going to read today is by Eric Carle. And you know Eric Carle through a lot of stories that you've read in preschool and in kindergarten and probably from when you were very little. He wrote stories such as The Grouchy Ladybug, The Tiny Seed, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and this one here. It's called Slowly, 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 Said the Sloth. And many of you might not be familiar with this story. I know that I didn't know about this story until I started teaching kindergarten. That's when I started reading it. And it's a good story too. So it is a fiction story about this sloth, and he's very, very slow. And the animals in the rainforest where he lives don't understand why he's so slow. They do a lot of moving around all day long, and he just stays in his tree doing everything all day long. So let's read about it. Slowly, 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 said the sloth by Eric Carle. Now, in this story, when I read it in my head before I read it out loud, I imagine that Eric Carle wants me to say it very slowly. It's just the feeling that I get. So if you hear my voice go slower and slower, it's because I get that feeling from the story, that the sloth speaks in a slow way and the story is said slowly. So if you hear me speak slowly, that would be why. So here we go. Slowly, 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 a sloth crawled along a branch of a tree. Slowly, 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 the sloth ate a leaf. So you can see, which is true, they like to hang out in the branches of a tree. And a lot of what they do during the day happens on that branch, whether it's hanging out or eating or sleeping. So that's what we're going to see a lot. While he's on that same branch all day, you're going to see different animals coming back and forth. Slowly, 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 the sloth fell asleep. Slowly, 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 the sloth woke up. So you see him here all day long, eating and sleeping and waking up, while all the other animals continue to go back and forth about their day. All day long, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. All night long, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. So day and night, he's in the same spot. He can do everything he needs to do from up in that tree. Even when it rained, the sloth hung upside down in the tree. And you can see the other animals are running for cover because it's pouring rain in the rainforest, but the sloth just keeps hanging out. He can't run. He has to stay where he is. If he tries to move, it's going to take him a long time to get somewhere else. He may as well just stay. Why are you so slow? The howler monkey asked one day, but the sloth didn't answer. Why are you so quiet? The caiman asked, but the sloth didn't answer. Wonder why he's not answering. Maybe they're hurting his feelings by kind of saying mean things. Why are you so boring? The anteater asked, but the sloth didn't answer. Tell me, said the jaguar, why are you so lazy? The sloth thought and thought and thought for a long, long, long time. Guess he wants to give a good answer. Finally, the sloth replied, it is true that I am slow, quiet, and boring. I am lackadaisical, I dawdle, and I dilly-dally. I am unflappable, languid, stoic, impassive, sluggish, lethargic, placid, calm, mellow, laid back, and, well, slothful. I am relaxed and tranquil, and I like to live in peace. But I am not lazy. Then the sloth yawned and said, that's just how I am. I like to do things slowly, slowly, slowly. So that's the actual end of the story. The whole story was just about the sloth hanging out and the other animals not quite understanding why the sloth is the way he is. But the sloth gave this really, really long answer with a lot of words that were probably hard for you to understand. But basically he was just saying, yes, I am very slow. And yes, most of the things you're saying are true. But I'm really cool too. I am laid back, I'm peaceful, I'm calm, I'm never in a rush, and I think a lot. I spend my time thinking and not just doing things. But he wanted them to know too that he's not lazy. He was born this way. He was born a sloth, and sloths are just a little bit slow, and that's okay. So I hope you like that story. It's a cute story. Now, if you would like to join me for the project, I'm going to start that now. And again, there are so many different art materials you can use for this. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers. You can use the watercolor. You can also use little pieces of tissue paper to crumple up and to add to your project as well. We've done that in school a lot of times too. But I'm just going to use marker because, like I said, I think most of us have markers at home and it will be easy for us to use them. Now, if you remember, again, I am not on a table. I have a table in front of me, but I have to hold up my paper on my clipboard so that you can see it. So I might not be able to draw it very, very well, but really this is your project and I know that you are going to do your very, very best and you'll take your time with it and make it great. So first of all, I want to say that we are going to create a setting with our sloth character in it. Now, if you remember from kindergarten, we learned and talked a lot about what a setting is. And a setting is where the story takes place. So in this story, it's in a rainforest, but I think the setting is pretty easy to see because on every page, it's the same. The sloth is in a tree. So basically you're going to be drawing a tree in a rainforest setting. Now you can choose to do a daytime setting if you'd like, because we saw him mostly in the day, but in the story it was also nighttime. So if you would choose to do a nighttime scene and setting, that's fine too. That's totally up to you. You can choose to hold your paper any way you'd like. You can hold it this way so it's tall, or this way so it's long. If you are going to add animals into your setting, you might want to put it this way so you can draw more animals going along this way. If you're going to just draw a tree with a sloth, you might want to hold it this way. I don't have, I'm not going to be able to draw all the animals because it's going to be really hard for me to do that. So I'm going to hold mine like this. So basically, I'm just going to first start off by drawing a tree. So I'm going to take my brown marker. Oops, I almost dropped my sloth. And I am going to draw a tree as best as I can. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to make the trunk. And then I want to maybe draw some branches. Now, you might want to make your branches thicker. That's up to you, what you want to do with that. Okay, and color them in. You decide what you want to do. I'm just giving you some ideas. And you might also want to color in your trunk. Again, you don't have to if you're using watercolor paint. Remember, the more water you use, the lighter the color is. If you use less water, the darker your color will be. Okay, I know we learned that in school. And the rainforest trees had a lot of beautiful, colorful leaves on them. So you might want to draw some different leaves, maybe some green leaves on the tree. I think I saw some flowers on the trees. You could also rewind the video if you want to get a closer look when I was reading, and you'll be able to pause it and see what the trees look like a little bit better. Okay, so maybe you want to make some nice leaves, and definitely there are fruits that grow on those trees. So you might maybe want to add some little pops of color into the tree, or like I said, your flowers. If you're going to use any kind of tissue paper, we would have used different colors. You would use green or colors for fruit. You can crumple them up and glue them onto the branches. That's up to you. If you want to add some grass to the bottom, I think that's a good idea. Just going to use a lighter green, and I'm going to go across, and I'm going to add some grass. And again, if you're going to make the animals, you can put them alongside, or if you're holding it the other way, you'll be able to do that as well. Perhaps you want to add a sun to this. You can add a sun. You might want to add some clouds, or even add some rain. It is the rainforest, and I think a rainforest has a lot of rain. It rains almost every single day in a rainforest, so adding some rain would be a kind of cool idea too. And then when you're done, and yours is as best as you have made it and you're happy with it, you're going to decide where you're going to put your sloth. So I am going to just put a little bit of glue, and I am going to pop my sloth on. There he is. Whoops. He's hanging from the tree. I'm going to have that leaf pop out a little bit. And there's my setting for slowly, 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 said the sloth. Well, that's our video. I hope you like the story and the project. And we're excited because during our Google Meet, we're going to have a chance to draw a sloth. So Mrs. Gottheil and I are going to have to start practicing drawing sloths so we can do some directed drawing with you this week. If you take pictures of this, if you like it and you take pictures, you can send it to Mrs. Gottheil and I, and we will put it on Instagram for everyone to see. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great week. See you soon. Bye-bye.